2026 might be the biggest year for SUVs in the last decade. A German brand betting its future on one platform, a Swedish automaker building its most important car in years, a Porsche SUV that's faster to 60 than most supercars, and three more SUVs that already quietly landed this year and are already changing what people expect from a family car. Here's how this works. First, the top three brand new SUVs of 2026, either just launching or about to. Then, three more that already hit the market this year, ones you might have missed. By the end, you'll know exactly what's worth waiting for and what's worth buying right now. Let's get into it. Number 3, Porsche Cayenne Electric. Starting at number 3, the Porsche Cayenne Electric, the first fully electric version of Porsche's best-selling model. It's built on the same 800-volt PPE platform as the Taycan and Macan Electric, about 2 inches longer than the gas Cayenne with a stretched wheelbase for extra rear legroom. There are two versions. The standard Cayenne Electric makes 402 horsepower in normal driving or up to 435 with launch control, good for a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. The Cayenne Turbo Electric is where things get ridiculous. 844 horsepower in everyday driving, climbing to 1139 horsepower with launch control, making it the most powerful production Porsche ever built. 0 to 60 comes in at 2.4 seconds, with a top speed of 162 miles an hour in a 5-seat family SUV. Charging uses an 800-volt system supporting up to 400 kilowatts, going from 10 to 80% in about 16 minutes. Porsche is also offering an optional wireless inductive charging pad you simply park over at home. Expect somewhere around 400 miles of range depending on trim. Inside, there's a new curved OLED display Porsche calls the Flow display, an optional passenger screen, and mood modes that adjust lighting and climate based on your mood. Pricing starts at $109,000 for the standard car and $163,000 for the turbo. Deliveries begin toward the end of summer 2026. Number 2, Volvo EX60. At number 2, the Volvo EX60, arguably the most important Volvo in years because it's the first model on Volvo's new SPA3 platform, which will underpin every future Volvo EV. It sits between the smaller EX40 and the larger EX90, positioned as the electric alternative to Volvo's all-time bestseller, the XC60. Three powertrains are available. The base P6 has a single rear motor making 369 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds with roughly 300 miles of range. The P10 adds dual motors and all-wheel drive, 503 horsepower, 4.4 seconds to 60. And the top P12 makes 670 horsepower, hits 60 in 3.8 seconds, and is rated up to 400 miles of range. Every EX60 uses an 800-volt architecture, and it's the first Volvo with a native NACS port, meaning direct access to Tesla's supercharger network with no adapter. On the P10 and P12, that system supports up to 400 kilowatts of charging, adding up to 173 miles of range in just 10 minutes. Inside, you get a 15-inch Google-powered touchscreen, an 11-inch digital gauge cluster, and Volvo's new Huygen Core platform with Google Gemini built in for a genuinely conversational voice assistant. Pricing starts at $58,400 for the base P6, putting it right up against the BMW iX3. Deliveries began in the back half of 2026, with the P12 following a bit later. Number 1, BMW iX3. The top spot goes to the BMW iX3, arguably the most important BMW launch in years, because it's the very first model on the brand's new Neue Klasse platform, a ground-up reinvention BMW has been teasing for literally years. It's a completely new design language running on 6th-generation BMW eDrive technology with new cylindrical battery cells that BMW says hold 20% more energy and charge 30% faster than before. The whole system runs on an 800-volt architecture, supporting up to 400 kilowatts of DC fast charging. The US launch trim, the iX350 xDrive, has dual motors and all-wheel drive, making 463 horsepower, good for 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. Range is rated up to 434 miles, among the best in the entire electric SUV segment. The real headline, though, is the interior technology. BMW's new panoramic iDrive projects key driving information across the lower windshield in a full-width strip, always visible without looking down. It runs on a new system BMW calls Operating System X, powered in part by a chip nicknamed the Heart of Joy, which handles braking and driving dynamics with roughly 1 millisecond of latency and can manage 99% of braking through regeneration alone. U.S. deliveries begin September 25, 2026, priced from $61,500 before destination. A more affordable single-motor iX340 is expected to follow in early 2027 at a lower price point. Those are the top three still rolling out. But before you go, here are three more SUVs that have already hit the road this year and matter just as much if you're shopping right now. Bonus 1. Rivian R2. First, the Rivian R2, Rivian's first real shot at the mass market. Deliveries began June 9, 2026, starting with the dual-motor R2 performance trim priced at $57,990 and loaded with semi-active suspension, heated and cooled front seats, and a lifetime subscription to Rivian's hands-free Autonomy Plus system. An R2 premium trim follows later in 2026 at $53,990. And here's an important clarification. The long-promised $45,000 base R2 standard isn't expected until the first half of 2027, so if you were holding out for that price, you'll need more patience. That base trim will actually be the range leader at an estimated 345 miles of range. Current models offer up to 330 miles of range with a Tesla-style NCAS port and 10 to 80% charging in about 29 minutes. It's noticeably smaller and lighter than the R1S, but keeps the same adventurous character with 9.6 inches of ground clearance. Bonus 2. Cadillac Vistic. Next, Cadillac's first three-row fully electric SUV, slotting between the Lyriq and the Escalade IQ. Every Vistic comes with dual-motor all-wheel drive, making 615 horsepower, hitting 60 in 3.7 seconds in a 7-seat SUV that can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Range is EPA rated up to 305 miles. The signature feature is a sweeping 33-inch curved display combining the gauge cluster and infotainment into one screen, running Google's built-in software, though it's worth noting there's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto support. Every Vistic also includes Super Cruise hands-free highway driving as standard. Pricing starts around $79,000, and it's already on sale. Bonus 3. Toyota RAV4, 6th generation. Finally, the Toyota RAV4, now in its 6th generation, and for the first time ever, every single RAV4 comes standard as a hybrid, with the old gas-only engine discontinued entirely. The base RAV4 hybrid starts at $33,350, making up to 236 horsepower with all-wheel drive and combined fuel economy in the low 40s. There's also a completely redesigned plug-in hybrid starting at $42,950, now making 324 horsepower combined with 54 miles of all-electric range, plus a new GR Sport performance trim. Every 2026 RAV4 gets a standard 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and Toyota's newest safety suite standard. It won't grab headlines like the others on this list, but it's the one that will outsell everything else here combined. Outro. So that's the full picture of 2026's biggest SUV story. 3 massive launches still rolling out: the Porsche Cayenne Electric, the Volvo EX60, and the BMW iX3, plus 3 more that already reshaped their segments this year: the Rivian R2, the Cadillac Vistic, and the Toyota RAV4. Which one would make it into your driveway? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this useful, hit subscribe, because Wheels of Luxury covers car news like this every week.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.